Hi everyone. I've had a lot of requests for the beret pattern, which I'm really happy about. I hope you're all able to make some fun berets. I've also had a lot of questions, and one of the questions was about how it fits on the head. So I thought I would do just a quick little video and let you see how it looks on me. I absolutely love wearing berets. They're easy to wear and something that you can quickly whip up and make to go with whatever you're wearing. A little bit of an apology for the glasses. I see better with the glasses than I do without them, so sorry for the little bit of glare that's there. But anyway, so you can see, and I usually wear it just a little bit cocked on my head. Of course, you could wear it even a little more cocked to the side, but I like to put it over my ear. I have kind of this funny ear that pokes out, a little like the Dumbo character, so it helps to hold it in. Yeah, they're nice and easy to wear. This is exactly from the pattern, no adjustments made whatsoever. I've also had questions about different types of material. You can literally make a beret out of just about, well, pretty much really anything. And I'd done a video, or excuse me, a post on working with fur, and then I realized that I had this beret that I made out of fur, and it was a vintage coat that I had taken apart and remade, and I really wanted a hat to go with it, and I didn't have a lot of fur left, and so I'll actually show you on the inside. There is some of my stitching on the inside. This was all done by hand. Where you see the little pieces pieced in together, this is very indicative of what the inside of a fur coat will look like when with all the little pieces put together. This is my stitching, that's my stitching along there. It's basically a buttonhole stitch. I just have a few little strips left. This is also something that you'll find inside a fur coat where they've marked it to make sure that they have their pieces coordinated. So anyway, this beret is different from this one, because for those of you who have gotten the pattern, you know that there's a seam here, and so there's the flat circle that's on top of my head, and then there's the circle that comes around that ends up sitting, on the head. So this one, I didn't have enough fabric or fur, as the case may be, to make this, and so it was just one large circle. And then what I did so that it would sit on my head is I gathered it around, and then I knitted a little 2-inch band and sewed it to the edge of the fur. And if you look, you can see it's not quite so obvious on the outside of the fur, where I did just a little gathering stitch to pull it in, but you can see it a little better on the inside of the fur. So you can see there where I did just really just a running stitch to gather it up, and then I knitted this 2-inch ribbing to put on it, like I said, so it would stay on my head. And then what I did too is, for those of you who knit, the little edge where I did my bind off is what I matched up to the edge, so it just gave kind of a nice little edge finish as I sewed the band to the fur. And anyway, one of the things I talked about too when I did the tutorial on working with fur is the seaming, and you can see here there is no seam allowance whatsoever on this. And so what ends up happening, now like I said, this is where I stitched it together. There is actually, I'll be doing some more tutorials on working with fur. There's actually a special thread that you should use. It's a waxed thread, very heavy duty, and then to think about that you know, the inside of fur is actually leather, so you need to work with a leather needle if you're going to work with the real thing. So on the outside, because of the way it's done, you can see a little bit, and if you look here with the light, you can see that there's just a little bit of a variance in the color, but it all came from the same coat, you know. So anyway, but you can see a little bit of the indentation of the seam, but not, you know, it's not really prevalent or obvious. So anyway, so this, like I said, this one is smaller than the beret that I'm wearing. I'll take this one off so that you can see. You know, I felt so bad. A lovely lady had emailed me about, she noticed the top stitching that I had done, and she said, your top stitching looks so beautiful, and are there any tips that you can give me? And I felt so bad because I said, take your time. That's all I can say, is just take your time. I love to top stitch. I do a lot of top stitching. So, you know, practice makes better. So that's another thing that I can offer, and I know those seem rather trite, but really and truly, you know, that's just it. It's not, and there's nothing difficult about it. It's just about taking your time and doing it a lot. Don't be afraid of it. So here's the inside of my, you know, if you'll remember from the post that I did, I lined this, which is, you know, nice because this is wool fabric, and then it's a little hard to show in the video, but the ribbon that I have on the inside of it, and the way, and if you'll, you know, I have links to the tutorial that I did, but this actually sits so that when the beret is on my head, that little band sits nice and snug against my head, so it just gives a little added security when the beret is on my head. So let me show you the difference in the two. So you saw how this beret fits on my head, and the fur beret is actually a good bit smaller when I lay it on. And like I said, it was just a matter of I just didn't have that much, but it still looks cute on, although it's not as nice and full. So I'll just try it on real quick for you. It's really not a front and a back to this one. This one's a little more, so this doesn't get the same, you know, it's just more of a hat. And there's my poked out ear. Sorry about that. So anyway, so it just sits nicely on my head. It looked really cute with the coat. I can't show you the coat because I took it all apart. It was one that this fur, believe it or not, this is very, very old fur. The coat that I took apart was from the 40s, and it was not a coat that I would want. It wasn't one of those fabulous 1940s coats. It was, so anyway, I took it apart and redid it. But the coat that I did, I actually did in the late 80s, so it had a very late 80s look to it. It was time for it to not look that way anymore, so it's all been taken apart, so I'm working on doing something new with it. But the hat, you know, hey, you know, hats, a hat like this doesn't really go out of style, so it's something that I can wear and enjoy for as long as I want. Anyway, so I hope this helps and gives you an idea of working with different types of fabric. You can do, like I said, really anything, because this is fur, and it's you know, this is a mouton, so it's fairly thick. I could have used a pattern just like the one that I've been giving to you. I could have done that, but here again, I just did a big circle because of the fact that I was really short on fabric. So, you know, corduroy, leather, if you're going to do something lightweight, I would suggest backing it with something, and wool, of course, is always a great choice for a beret. They keep your head nice and warm. They look rather nice, especially from not wearing my glasses. but like I said, helped me to see a little bit better and see what I was doing. So anyway, if you have any other questions, be sure to ask, and I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks so much.